Hello everyone, it's Thumper the Rabid. Alright, I get it. You don't care about the new batteries, but you do. You say, Thumper, why the hell do I care about new batteries? I'm in a cave base, or I just want turrets, or I don't care about this electricity stuff, I just don't want to get shot. Got it. Here's why you should care. First of all, if you're in a cave base and you've watched any of my previous videos on cave bases, you know that the old batteries always run at full 100% output. As soon as they have a load on them, they run at a full 100%, which makes low power triggering circuits a work of art. There's been some good examples of this on my channel and in my Discord that some other people have come up with that are great, but it's still challenging and you're still kind of stuck with very inefficient and weird ways of making it work that are kind of sensitive to getting things blown up. Well, now, since they only use the power that you're consuming and not putting out their full power all the time, it means now it's possible to charge them while they're being used. It's possible to run low power triggering circuits. For all those reasons, cave-based power is about to change completely and not a moment too soon. So if you're a cave baser, calm down. This is going to get way better for you. And assuming this makes it to main branch release next week, I will show you more examples of why and how that's helpful, and I'm sure there will be tons of examples out there because it is much needed. Now, you don't care about cave bases, you tell me. Okay, great, you're not a cave baser. Good for you. Why do you care about this new battery? Because you want your turrets to run. You want your turrets to run when people take out your wind turbines, when they take out your solar panels, when they take out your generators. Hey, but I've already watched your video on a battery backup. Great. That always had to come from one battery. The battery had to go through a blocker. You had to go through other machinations to try and make sure that it didn't consume all the power when it didn't need it, like switching from wind over to battery and back again. Now, you can run all your power directly through batteries to your turrets and charge the batteries, as long as you're putting in 20% more than their consumption. And one of the beautiful things here is that turrets only need 10 units of power. So as long as it's not one of the turrets that you want to trigger outputs on, if you just want to run the turret itself, this battery by itself will power that turret. It doesn't have the power to run the output triggers, but in most cases people don't need those. Now previously, if you did this right here, these batteries would go dead. So that kind of made them worthless. Now that's not the case. As long as you're running 12 or more units of power into this battery, it will maintain its charge level or increase in charge capacity. So now all you need to do, much more simplified, take this wind turbine, run it through a splitter, run it through some branches, whatever you want, and attach it to this battery. These things can only take 40 units of power at maximum right now, at least that's what's showing up on staging. So if that makes it to release on main branch, then all you need is 40 units most for all these, minimum 12, maximum 40 if you really want to get them charged up more quickly. So this is a good example. This is a lot of power. Putting 50 into each of these, which is too much, but it accomplishes the goal. Now you can take out this wind turbine, you can take out this generator, you can take out this splitter. Regardless, these things are going to keep running for 15 minutes because that's how much power these things can store at their maximum capacity. You can see right now it's charging up. So the reason you want to care about these new batteries is they're basically their own little UPS, uninterruptible power supply system in a box. You just attach it directly to your turret, away you go. Easy to do on vanilla because these batteries are easy to find. Now, one thing you may want to consider is finding a way to keep an eye on these things and whether or not they are actually running, because now that you don't have a central power source per se, if somebody knocks out this splitter, your turrets are going to keep running, but only until the batteries go dead. And at the moment, we don't really have a good way to monitor whether these things are still on other than looking to see if they're actually still powered up and running. I'm hoping maybe we'll get some devices here in the future for power meters, or you may be able to hook all this up to like a large battery and watch the load on the large battery and see what's happening. That wouldn't quite work right today, I don't think. Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you here. Easy enough example. Yeah, unfortunately, right now the batteries consume as much as they can possibly get, so maybe in the future we'll be able to pull this off a little bit differently, but right now the new batteries effectively give you a way to put one battery per turret and run them. That doesn't mean you can't still use large batteries and split the large battery out to run a handful of turrets, but you can literally run it like this now. You don't need a blocker, you don't need any of that other stuff to keep the battery from going dead. All you gotta do is put 20% in more than you're taking out. So if you got this thing at full load, you can see active usage is 100, that's its maximum. As long as you're putting 120 or more in here, this battery is gonna maintain and increase in charge. So you could run, you know, 10 turret, well, not quite 10 because you're going to lose some power downstream here, but you can run a good 8 or 9 turrets off this thing. No other electronics really required other than some splitters or some branches to actually hook up the turrets. So why do you care? Electricity just got a little more complicated, but a whole lot easier when it comes to just throwing power onto turrets. And it's becoming a whole lot more efficient and cheaper to run those generators to charge batteries in cave bases, because you can limit how much battery power you actually use. So I hope that answers your question. Why should I care? You don't have to care. Just don't use electricity or turrets or SAMs or anything else that you can defend your base with, because you're playing Rust because you want to die. Great, good for you. Good luck, and don't suck.